Gosta de fazer orgia, essa novinha que tá na volanda. Gosta de fazer orgia. Você tá em cima da piroca, 24 horas por dia. Você levanta por cima da essa novinha que tá na volanda. Gosta de fazer orgia, fica sentando em cima.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Oso Talks podcast. Uh, Thank you for joining me. Tonight, we're going to do uh, mainly TV shows, just some premieres that are coming up, some reviews on them. Might do an anime, might do a couple of movies near the end, but definitely want to do TV shows today. It's mainly what I watch anyway. All right. So we're gonna start today with, I believe it's the Sandman show on Netflix. Season 2 has been announced. If you haven't seen season 1, it's a very trippy show. Uh, it's hard to explain. Like, just it's a trippy show. Basically, it basically starts with the Dream King Morpheus being captured, and then what happens after that. I don't want to go too much into it in case you want to watch it. There are some great episodes. My personal are personally the ones I like are the one where he actually has to go to hell and deal with Lucifer in the situation, and the second one where he actually has to free a muse that is captured and being forced to, I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely a good watch. It's only, I want to say like 12 episodes, so it's
I think
not
it's like
that.
12 episodes. It's
Yeah,
it's not a long.
yeah,
It
it's
I
not a
think they
long
had like long
season.
episodes, but not long
Yeah, I think it was like an hour
series.
long episodes, so you really do get invested into it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's only like 12 or 13 episodes. It's
Hmm.
not that much. By the way, that voice you're hearing is my producer, sometimes co host, Giselle.
Hello,
So
hello.
introduce yourself, Jazz.
Hey, everybody. This is Jazz. I'm just here helping out today. I didn't feel like being on camera, but here I'm down for the smoke and have a conversations with Oso himself. Um, Really exciting show. We are going to be discussing Sandman and a few other things. He is what else were we trying to do? I just had my list. I know we wanted to talk about Sandman. We
It's
want to
mainly
talk about
shows.
Mandalorian. Interview with a Vampire. I'm excited about.
Yes,
Um,
Interview with the Vampire, gay vampires. I'm saying it. I don't care if anybody doesn't like that. I said that to
what?
again. If you watch
They
the
are
original
gay.
movie, if you watch the, because I've had this conversation at work with people, and they're like, no, they're not gay. If you have watched the original movie, it's
They're
there.
gay as shit.
If you pick up the signs, it's there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say, oh, that they changed it, they turned it, oh, they're gay. It was in the original movie. They just wanted to really cover it up.
Yeah. Well, to
But
be fair, was the movie like in the 90s, the original one? So it was like in the night. No, no, no. But I mean, like, people are in denial of gay people all the time, especially around that time, despite us being everywhere.
oh yeah,
Right?
like definitely, it's. I mean, even when I already knew that they were at the very least bisexual. I won't say
Oh,
that they're
yeah.
gay. I would say they're more bisexual because they do go back and
Well,
forth between.
it's a spectrum, right? So, like, they were gay. They were under that persuasion. They were under the umbrella, whatever you want to call it. They like same gender, and they also like the other gender. What doesn't matter, or with the other genders, it doesn't matter. They were having
Right,
fun. They're vampires. Why would you be a vampire and not enjoy everything that life has to offer you?
right. Well,
Just
basically,
saying.
and on top of that, like if your whole existence is based on
Mhm.
draining the blood off of mortals, why are you only gonna go after half the population? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like that's stupid.
Well, you gotta seduce them. But I think so. I definitely want to show the trailer in a moment. But like, I know we talked about this too when it came to Interview with a Vampire because I personally loved the AMC version.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
love the
all. I want
original
to.
movie.
Well, let me clarify that. Like we're talking about the sand interview with the vampire, the series, not the movie.
Yeah, not the
Because if you
movie.
watch this series, uh, pretty much episode one, I'll give it away. Episode one, they pretty much
Oh, you're
said
not giving anyway spoilers because it's been over a year. You guys should be
right.
fucking watching the show.
If you're not even watching season two yet, I don't know what you're doing. But if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, basically season one, episode one, they're redoing their interview. They're doing another interview with the guy, and he basically just said
David.
straight out, that last interview we did was bullshit. I lied the whole time about everything. So
Hmm.
that pretty much is out the window. So
Yep.
that's the series is actually the canon version of what's actually going on. So, but
Exactly.
I do like. Well, let's go back to let's touch base on the Sandman first because that's the first
Yeah,
one.
we're gonna talk about that definitely.
Uh,
But I am excited to talk about that. But just to kind of interject too, you were talking about um Sandman, and I know you don't like giving away spoilers or anything, but it's been over a year, guys. I feel like everybody should have watched Sandman if you're into that shit, especially if you're a DC comic person. You should have been on this.
oh yeah, well, even
Sandman.
if just like
What?
because it's a very trippy,
It is trippy.
it's very trippy. Like,
It's something you have to pay attention to. It's
yeah,
something you have to kind of,
it's very detail oriented. So like
yeah.
honestly, like that would be like one show that if I go rewatch again, which I might do
Hmm.
before season two comes out, I might want to watch it
Yeah.
high.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Just,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
for
yeah.
some of the shit
I
that,
want to be
especially
under the
like with,
influence.
like I mentioned with like the Lucifer episode when he has to go to hell,
Oh, that's one of my
that's some
favorites.
trippy shit. So, but as
Yeah.
being high and watching that, that'd be some crazy shit.
First of all,
So
she's what is her name again? I forget. I
I
want to
forget
say
her name, but she played Lucifer very well. I
yeah,
like
she
that
played Brienne of
Lucifer.
Tarth in she played Brienne of Tarth in Game of Thrones, and she
That
also
was
played the
the headmaster
headmistress in Wednesday.
in Wednesday.
But
Yes,
she played Lucifer deliciously, deliciously.
yeah, there's definitely
Um,
get that
but yeah, just
presence.
to and if I could also, I want to kind of like break down what the series is about, at least the first season, because we're talking about the second season coming up where we have new characters. So pretty much Sandman is implied. If you know what the Sandman is, it's usually the person who controls the dream, blah, blah, blah. So it is about how he was summoned, right? He was summoned by mortals,
Well,
then trapped.
actually, he was the whole premise of the series. Basically, they weren't
But what
actually
happened?
trying to summon him. They were actually trying to summon Death, because the original guy that wanted to summon Death
Okay.
wanted to have control over Death so he could live forever.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
got botched, and he ended up getting caught.
Exactly. So he gets caught and he is in service. He's a prisoner of these mortals for like generations at this point. He winds up getting out. We're not going to go into full detail of that because you have to watch the series. But then you start piecing in together. You realize that not only is he the ruler of Dreamland, pretty much of dreams, he has siblings that are also now. I don't know if they're rulers, but they are the controlling party of certain aspects of life. So, like, Death is his sister. We have Despair. We have
Pride, I think.
Desire. No, no, they all begin with D, except for one of them. Destiny. Destiny. Okay, so that's the thing too. So
Destiny
all of
is the
them.
one that's missing.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, this is Dream comes out, Sandman comes out, Morpheus, excuse me. Morpheus comes out and he's trying to reclaim his kingdom pretty much.
Yeah,
However, what happens when you've been gone for centuries? Doesn't mean that you own shit anymore. Nobody's fearful of your power anymore. So it goes into that whole situation of him reclaiming his power, but also items that belong to him that the mortals sold away or demons stole or all these different scenarios that happen. So the whole series is his journey of finding all these pieces so he can reclaim his full power again.
right.
Um, it
And that
goes
was
into a lot of detail, but
it
it's
was
definitely something you have to watch multiple times It's definitely something, and not just that. Don't think about like if they show you a picture, don't just like toss it off. You really have to pay attention to certain things because they have bigger meaning that you find out later on. Like my favorite episode, of course, is going to be when he goes to hell, of course, where he's having that battle. Love that scene.
Right.
Um, that's one of
Like
my
I said, like that's
favorites.
a real trip. Like
Yeah, the
just
game. I
on the
love the game.
psychological and that
Hmm.
just because there's a confrontation between him and Lucifer, and basically it's a challenge game so he could get back
Hmm.
his helmet, which will show the trailer. Like the trailer is basically just showing his helmet
His
that
helm. Yeah,
which really focuses his power and amplifies his power. So,
exactly.
but just the battle between him and Lucifer of how they go about it, the understanding that it takes to actually participate in a situation like that, it's trippy and
Hmm.
it's very cerebral.
I like
Uh,
that.
all right,
No,
so
it's definitely so. We're gonna play. This is so that's pretty much season one. There's a lot of shenanigans that happen, but right now we're all getting excited for season two. This is just an announcement thing. There's not much information we have about it besides a few new characters. So
right,
just enjoy
because
it.
for a while it was up in the air if they were going to get a season two because Netflix cut the show, but thankfully Sandman got a season two. Yeah, it doesn't really give a lot. It's just the helmet and saying that the dreams continue. Um, but I am anxious to see it. The way this first season finished was amazing. It was beautifully done, and I'm very anxious for season two.
I agree. I think it was beautifully done the first time. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. I like the additional characters. Also, just to talk about expectations. Like, what do you think is gonna happen in season two?
Honestly, I think it's still Destiny's still missing one of his sisters or brother. I don't. They don't really say if it's a male or female,
Or
but
yeah, what
it's
no,
missing
what they're presenting as. Hmm.
two of the sisters. I forget which ones they are. I think it's Desire and
Despair.
Despair. Just I believe if you watch season one, you'll see that honestly, Destiny's disappearance. I believe that Despair had something to do with it. I
Hmm.
think it's a power move to try to
No, I
like
think it's Desire. I think it's Desire is the one that said it.
yeah
Despair is the one who's like very sorrowful all the time and worried. Where
right. But they're
Desire
leading
is the one that
together.
had the cat ears.
Right, but I think it's a power move to try to take over that kingdom or those
Oh
powers.
yeah.
So you could definitely see a big fight scene or power
Hmm.
struggle type thing, which would be awesome. Um, I would like because in the episode where he goes to uh, when he goes to hell is after he gets his sand back
Hmm.
from Constantine, not
Oh
the
yeah,
Constantine
yeah.
that we're used to. It's actually one of his descendants
Hmm.
or one of his no, one of his ancestors actually, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
And
think it's before that. Hmm.
yeah, and even that Constantine is a trip. Like I'm a big Constantine fan, and that Constantine is
Same.
a trip. And then actually in that episode they mentioned that it wasn't the first time that the Dream had dealt with Constantine or a Constantine
Hmm.
in in that sense. So I
Hmm.
would definitely like to see Constantine back, maybe a little bit more on that because that episode was really good.
Yeah. Well, I think like she's gonna play a good part in everything. Because she's Constantine. Like she's a
Right. It's the
Constantine. Like they're
Constantine. So
always getting into trouble
they're always
all the
involved with
fucking
shit.
time.
So
Always involved with shit with the magic and supernatural. Like you can't do anything without them being there. The same thing when it comes to oh my god, what was the raven's name? The crow. Sam or something. I don't know, some basic ass name.
I think it was Sam. But
Was
say he
it?
was
I
the
don't.
truth though. Like he really in that episode
Yeah.
where he was featured, he really like he was a major contributing role. And even after
Oh
that
yeah.
episode, he still played a part in the series because they needed
Hmm.
someone to keep an eye on the kid.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So he plays enough, and that's where we end up finding uh, the loss. Because in the Dream Kingdom, he had
Hmm.
uh, certain I don't want to say people because they weren't really people, certain
Hmm.
entities that did special things. Like he even
Exactly.
had Cain and Abel in the dream world, in the
Oh
dream
yeah,
kingdom.
yeah, yeah,
And like every day they would work together, and by the end of the day, Cain would kill Abel, and then
yeah.
the next morning
It's
they
all
would
like similar. Well, it goes like with the biblical stuff, and then
right.
like also with the comics and everything to connect. But I think the comic itself does so well with that because they intertwine the lives a lot, right? They do the biblical thing because not only do you have in that same world, you have Constantine, which also goes for possibly the other version of Lucifer. We have this Lucifer that we know of. We
Right.
have so many different aspects of the show, which is really interesting.
Now I would
um
just to throw out, I would love if in season two they
okay.
brought in the Lucifer that's played in the Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves
Okay.
to interact with with the Lucifer from the series. I think that would be a very
So
big dynamic because they both
oh
have
yeah.
such a presence that it would
It would definitely be interesting, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe I do want to see the clash because I was about to fight with it. I was like, I don't think I like it. But then actually, the Playboy flirty type that is Lucifer from the series, from his own series, versus Sandman
no,
series.
not from Lucifer, not from Lucifer the series, the
Well, who are you
Lucifer from
talking about?
Constantine
Constantine?
from
I
yeah
thought you were.
from Keanu Reeves Constantine, that Lucifer,
Oh, that version. Okay, I
that
thought you were
Lucifer,
saying. Okay, my bad, my bad.
that Lucifer, because that Lucifer is more
Regal.
dark.
She's gorgeous. She is. Well,
It's
she's
just
not. She's very. She's. Well, she's down for a fight, so I guess so.
right. So just them like even if it's just for a little bit, just to see how they play off each other. Even if it's like a joking thing, it will be. I think it will be either hilarious or very
Uh
dramatic.
huh.
What does that say?
Let's see. It says you have a comment on here. It says it is safe to say, or is it safe to say that Salmon is your favorite series from the list you have? What do you
Ah,
think?
it's definitely top two. I will say that. I
Yeah,
don't really
from the
know what to
art
say.
and storyline alone. Yeah.
Yeah, just the storyline. It's a real great series. But we have a couple of other shows on here that are really good.
Yeah.
And it's
I
actually
think that
funny because a
is,
lot of them are. It's really demonic, like today's episode, because a lot of the shows are like
they're
afterlife
dealing with the
themed
bad stuff.
stuff. But you know, if anybody knows me, they know I love a good horror movie.
Horror. Yeah. We like
Uh,
all that stuff.
but
But
Sandman is it's not really Sandman is a good watch. Like I've gone back and watched several episodes again, and
mhm.
it still draws you in, and
Mhm.
that's hard to say for a series. Like
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of series, once you watch it once, like you don't care what happened.
Mhm.
But this one definitely really brings you in.
Okay. So I guess now we're gonna go to the next one, which is going to be
Interview
Interview with a
with the Vampire.
Vampire. So I'm
Yeah.
about to upload that now. Give me
All right.
one
So Interview with a
second.
Vampire is going on season 3.
Mm-hmm.
They just started shooting, I believe, because there was already a teaser trailer already out, which we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna play.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a little bit long, so maybe when it gets a little redundant, just let me know when to skip it. But
yeah. Just to catch up, basically, if you haven't not seen the series Interview with a Vampire, you're an idiot.
yep,
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's
two
gay
seasons.
vampires." I don't want to watch it because it's gay vampires. Get over the gay thing. The acting, beautiful.
Oh yeah,
It
the
really, especially the
emotions.
ending of season 2, it'll
Mm-hmm.
if you're really into it, it'll make you fucking cry
Oh
because
yeah.
it's beautifully done. They're staying as close to the books as they can. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, for season 3, from what I understand, is basically picking up where uh, Queen of the Damned starts. Basically,
Yeah. Like it gives the teasers of it because they talk about Akasha in season 2.
right? They bring up a couple in
Um,
season 2. My whole
which
thing,
we're
like, not to like before we get into season 3 and
yeah.
trailer stuff. My whole thing with Louis, because I was thinking
Oh,
about this
okay.
earlier.
Okay.
He pretty much, like, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to give it to it, but there is a scene where he kind of pretty much manhandles Lestat.
Yeah.
Not Lestat. Uh, the
Armand.
other guy. The other guy.
Armand.
Armand. Right. And Armand is a lot older than him. So just like in that world, the older the vampire, the stronger he gets.
Mm-hmm.
So Armand has to be at least twice or three times as old as Louis. So
Yeah.
how is Louis able to pretty much manhandle this character when he's actually supposed to be stronger?
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll. I'm thinking it has something to do with the fact that uh, he was made by Lestat, who had the blood of Akasha in him. So that might make him stronger than some of the other ones.
Hmm.
Because that's
Possibly.
the only thing I can really think of. Because by their own right, because even Louis can't stand out in the light, where Armand can actually be out in the sun.
Yeah.
But he's obviously more powerful.
Yeah.
But I
Um.
definitely hope that they touch on that and they bring that in and they
Well,
do something
I
with
hope
that.
so too. I think from the teasers, besides this one, the thing I really like is that the characters that play David and Armand actually said that they're actually in season 3 that we're actually going to see a little bit of their love story. So they're finally gonna. So I think with the situation too is that Armand, I don't know. I didn't like the character. I think he's just a little bitch boy, respectfully, and I mean in a sense of like he wants to be. He
He
wants to
wants
be big
Louis.
dog.
He
He
wants
wants
so
Louis.
basically he wants Louis, and if you watch season 2, you'll understand why we say this because he takes a lot of credit for a lot of shit that was done in the season 2,
Series. Hmm.
and he had and it all came out, how shit does, but he took a
Uh-huh.
lot of credit for shit that he didn't do to try to keep Louis in his life.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean at the end what he did with the interviewer, I forget his name,
David,
it's a bitch move.
he's a bitch.
And
We don't like Armand. I don't give a shit. I don't like Armand. Fuck you, Armand.
actually I
Fuck
like
that.
Armand. Out of the Armand, I like
No.
the movie Armand better than the series Armand. Because
The
at least in the
movie
movie,
Armand? Nah, I didn't like the movie Armand either.
like at least in that one, he pretty much said it straight out. Like, look, I can't help you. I can't do nothing to help you. Like he was straight up about it. Like,
I don't know. But let's watch this trailer. Let's get this trailer on.
let's go to the trailer.
Because it's
Michelle,
4
the
minutes.
car's been on the lot for hours, man. Hey, look, if you want, I can have somebody knock on the window. I think he's
What? What? You think what?
I think he's entertaining somebody.
Do we have insurance for homicide?
You know what? We had 3 deaths on the Banger Sisters. Don't worry about it.
Fucking David.
Wait, did they change
That's
the
him.
actor?
Jesus Christ.
No, watch it, trust
Look
me.
at him.
Oh no, wait, that's just the guy sitting here. My bad.
Okay, let's go.
Because he kind of looks like the staff.
Mr. Linecourt, hi, I'm Mark Johnson. I'm the executive producer. We talked on the phone a couple of times. We're really excited about the
I don't remember you.
documentary. Okay.
Hey, man. Thanks for the tickets last night.
Aaron.
Great show.
It's fucking love it.
He's that
Who the
bitch.
fuck are
This
you?
is Christine Clare, Mr. Linecourt's lawyer.
Hair and makeup now.
Do I look like I need you?
Get him, King.
It's the arrogance. Like really, like you really.
There's a
think, like,
goblet
Yeah.
on the table.
You don't
like the goblet? Can we
He's such a fucking diva.
Thank you. We need to wire you for sound. I hope you don't mind. The camera we're going to be using is called an Interatron. I'll be sitting here. You'll see my face in the camera, like we're talking to each other, and you don't have to just stare at an empty camera lens.
Your sound man is dehydrated.
We'll get him some water.
The fact that he points that out, the cameraman is
Exactly.
your microphone guy is dehydrated. It's like, yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to kill you.
Rolling.
Drink the water.
Mhm.
And action. Okay, we're going to start. Could you state your name for the camera?
Justin Bieber.
Bitch ass.
I see you have my book there. What do you think of? Sorry. Excuse me. Give me a second here.
Daniel, are you okay?
I am the vampire Lestat.
Why are we pushing?
I'm immortal. More or less. The light of the sun.
Somebody get him a glass of water.
The sustained heat of an intense fire. These things might destroy me, but then again, they might not.
Let's cut it there.
I love it. I got you.
You know, the thing that I liked about this trailer,
Hmm
you hear David start coughing.
No, it wasn't David. I think it was somebody else.
No, well, who was it? That was the interviewer.
No. So it was David, and that was the thing because I thought the same thing. I was like, why would he hurt him? But it wasn't him. It was somebody else who was working in that area because they were being. I forgot what they did. They did something insulting low key to him, and you have to watch like a few times. But it's because why would David cough?
Well, that's the thing. That me personally, from
Go ahead.
watching season 1 and 2,
Okay.
the type of entity that Lestat
Mhm.
is. Because if you want, when he comes in, he sits down. Oh, this is the interviewer introduces Lestat and
Mhm.
Lion Court. That's not his
Beyond
name.
court, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
He
It
said his
wasn't
name wrong.
David though. It wasn't David who said that. It was the person who was like directing everything. He's the one who made that. You're correct. That's exactly why he made them cough because he's like, so you're not gonna say my name right? I'm the fucking
Right. He's
star.
just the look that he had when he had, like, no, okay, you just want to play with my name. Like, no,
Hmm
you're going to say it right. But it's definitely a good teaser trailer. The trailer does go on. You can watch it on YouTube.
hmm
It's basically him singing. He actually does a good job of
Which I was
imitating,
surprised
imitating
because,
the songs from the original movie. It's really actually
well,
very good.
that's the thing too. So, as a hardcore metal, rock fan, all that good shit, and I love the original soundtrack from Queen of the Damned. I was actually really nervous about that. Because his accent is so thick. I was like, he's not going to be able to do those songs. Like he's not. So at least that song that has nothing to do with the original soundtrack.
Right.
However, I think it's called Long Face or Long Fangs, and it's so fucking good. I've
Right.
listened to it multiple times, especially when it goes like when he does like the vampire laugh, I guess you could say. Hilarious.
It's
He's
very.
like, what? And I was like,
He,
okay, King.
yeah, he pulls it off very nice. Like the accent
Oh,
really
yes.
doesn't hinder the singing that much.
Definitely. And it gives you that grungy rock type
Yeah,
vibe, which I enjoy.
Old school metal.
Mm-hmm. Rock.
Just
Mm-hmm.
over the try to sing over the instruments in the back, but it comes off
Mm-hmm.
very clear.
Yeah,
But
definitely
definitely
listen
season
to it.
3. I hope we get a cameo from Louis. I hope they answer that question
Call
of
he did.
why Louis is stronger than Lestat, not Lestat, Armand. Well, even Lestat is not as old as Armand either. And if Louis can toss him around, I'm pretty sure freaking Lestat can toss him on around.
Well, I think, but just to jump back on that, I personally believe it's because of Armand wants to submit. He's a bottom. He wants to submit to strong men. And that's great. We love that. But his issue is that he's also a conniving cunt.
Right.
So, and you'll watch the series and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Because originally Lestat was with the whole the troupe, the acting troupe for a while, but he didn't want to stick around because pretty much it was beneath him. Like the whole acting, vampires acting as humans, acting as vampires.
Yeah.
concealing themselves. Lestat was not one to do that.
Yeah, Lestat's a
So
diva. He doesn't want to play second fiddle to anybody,
right,
and
and
that's it.
that really comes on like they haven't seen season one. That really does come off in season one. Like
Yeah.
when he enters the room, he wants everybody to know that he's entered the room.
Oh yeah, he's the diva, and you need to pay attention. If not, like, what's the point?
Right.
But I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see. I want to see what happens with Armand and David.
I want to see who they
Uh,
get to play the Akasha.
I don't. But here's the thing.
If
I
they
don't
even bring
think.
her in.
Huh? Yeah, no, they can't. R.I.P. Aaliyah.
Right.
But I think I don't know. But my thing is maybe it's just going to be by word because I think she needs her own series with that. I think she needs her own like section.
Well, they can
Um,
always introduce her in and then branch it off.
no, they definitely could, but that's what I'm saying is that like so if they're gonna go again, I didn't read the books. Well, actually, I have read the books. I don't remember the books. I'm not that they're bad or anything. I just have a short attention span.
Right.
So from the remembrance, like there's a lot of things that was supposed to go down that didn't go down in both seasons. When it comes to Akasha, like I said, she is the mother of all of them. So I'm pretty sure they can't sum it up in like one or two episodes. They
Right.
have
And that's
to.
something that like I really would like them to go into because in the movie she has a real disdain for
Mhm.
what her children have become. Like you're
Yeah.
supposed to be basically the top of the food chain and you're hiding in the night.
I know. You're
So
predators, you're hunters, and you're acting like prey. But it is what it is. So hopefully they'll update that and then we'll figure out that next step. But at this moment, I do have Evil. So why don't you talk about
okay,
what
so
Evil's about?
Evil is on its final legs. I don't believe there's going to be another season,
No, yeah, this is their final season.
and I think there's maybe 2 to 4 episodes left. Not quite sure. I'm thinking
Hmm.
there's actually 2 episodes left. If
Hmm.
you have not seen the Evil series, it's basically uh, demonic possessions. Basically, it's a group of it's a priest, a psychiatrist, and pretty much an all-around scientist that work for the Catholic Church to debunk, uh, you know,
Supernatural
supernatural
cases.
possessions. If people need exorcisms, or if it's a
Hmm.
valid possession, they perform an exorcism. I do like the fact that they brought in. They just didn't go with uh, like Christianity and Catholicism because they did bring in a lot of like some of the
Other
episodes feature
religions.
jinn, and they brought in a
Mhm.
lot of the
Components.
different religions that are out there. So I
Hmm.
do like that aspect.
Yeah.
It's very
So
it's if you're like season one, it's mainly about the psychiatrist. It's has a lot to do with like night terrors and demons in your dreams and stuff like that.
mhm,
So if you're skittish, might not be for you. Might need to watch it during the day. But
like I had to.
like season one, there's a lot of like demon possessions and like
Mhm,
demons in the actual show. So it's a strong show.
mhm.
So, but they do touch on a lot of stuff, and it's really good. I liked it. I actually watched season one during COVID, and then I kind of fell off of it till I found it again on Netflix.
Mhm.
And but it's been every season's been it's been up in it, and I do like the fact that how there was a show that I forgot to put on the list,
We'll talk about it.
but
Go ahead.
the fact that they use they're called the assessors, the three of them, and they actually like try to look at it from a scientific point of view,
Mhm.
not
A
just okay, somebody comes
psychological.
in and
Yeah.
well I need an exorcism because I think I'm
Mhm.
possessed, but okay, no, we're gonna go to your house, look at stuff around, try
Mhm.
to determine if it's a psychological issue or if it's actual demonic possession.
Mhm.
So it really like that aspect of it is not real quick to judge. Oh well, it's a
Mhm.
demon. This is what you got to do. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, you go ahead. Good.
No, so I can definitely say I was not excited about the show. I'm not into demons. I'm not into any of that crazy stuff because I'm a scaredy cat. It just is what it is. I don't want to deal with it. He got me into the show, and I enjoyed it because there's also a comedic aspect of it where there's this nun. I forget what's her name, sister.
Oh my god. Andre?
I'm gonna say we're gonna call her just the
Or
sister. We're just
Sister
gonna call her
Anne, I
sister.
think, something like that.
Sister, yeah, Sister A. We're gonna call her Sister A.
Yeah, but she is
She sees
she
the
is
demons.
she is G.
She's a
Like
fucking G.
like
She takes,
especially in this season, she's a G.
yeah.
The way she's
So
handling the demons and shit is
yeah. Well,
it's
that's the
fucking
thing too that I get pissed off about because she sees it, and David is the one of the assessors. There's three. There's
he's the
David.
prince. Yeah.
He's the priest. I forget the other two's name,
It's
but
Ted and
Ted
or
and
what the hell's the lady's name? I forget the girl's name.
oh, she's annoying. But and she annoys me, but we'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, they're all assessors. David is a priest. He also works and lives in the church with the sister, and like she's boxing demons, and she's like, I have the sight, like, but you can feel them, so like listen to me. And he'll tell everybody else, like, hey, you have to listen to what I'm saying. Like, these are actual demons. And you have the fucking psychiatrist or whatever. She's like, no, it's not real. It's just like
Right.
it's
Well,
just this
that's
and that, and then you have the thing, and I understand and respect it, but how many times they've been going on this journey for 3 or 4 seasons? How many seasons?
I
Three
think
seasons?
this is season 4, I think.
Season 4? So yeah, for 4 seasons they have been battling this, and the priest and all the holy people are like, hey yo, this is actually bad. These are demons, these are this is that. And she's like, nah, it doesn't exist. And there's a lot
Right.
of other things. It talks about the Antichrist, it talks about
Oh, that was
yeah, the
that was
Antichrist
a big deal.
situation. It talks about demons. There's different types of demons. Um, like it's really interesting. And again, as also said, it talks. I like the fact that they incorporate other religions into it. So, like you said, one of the characters is Pakistan. Is he Pakistani?
He
He's
is
Muslim of faith at the beginning.
I
Well,
think
he was
he's
raised
Indian.
Muslim, huh?
I think he's Indian
No, 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 no. He's not.
or Turkish.
No, I'm talking about Muslim. Like he was raised as a Muslim.
Yeah.
He was raised
Well,
as a Muslim.
he was raised as a Muslim, but he's not really
Yeah, he's
into
not
the faith,
religious anymore.
which
He's in agnostic.
they actually touch on that, and
Yeah.
it's actually not. Is I like the way they did his character because it gives that scientific aspect because he's really he's an all around scientist, a
Mhm.
physicist, engineer. He's all
Yeah.
jack of all trades, and
Yeah,
it
no,
actually
and
brings
that's great.
and
But
from
he's
his point of view, like okay, I science can explain everything, and
yeah.
the more he sees it, he even talks about it on on one of the episodes where the more stuff that they go into and the more stuff that he can't explain is really tripping him out. Like he doesn't
Mhm.
understand like what's really going on
Exactly.
because he doesn't really want to delve into
Mhm.
that religious side, which
Yeah,
he's really turned his back on basically.
exactly. And
But
there's a lot in the series that it challenges each other. It's hypocritical at points too. And I'm hypocritical amongst themselves. Like again, you have people who are believers, non-believers of any type of religion or any type of even fucking beliefs of normal shit. There's a lot of things at play. Very, very interesting, but also comedic. So if you're a scaredy cat
oh
like
yeah,
me, I would
there's
definitely
some
say watch it. And it's funny too.
uh,
Trust me.
there's there's some episodes where I think they were shooting for it to be scary,
Oh yeah, it was
but it
just
just
funny the
came
whole
off
time.
so
Yeah.
comedic that you're not even like it doesn't hit as like a scary thing. Like
Yeah.
it's just so comedic
Yeah.
what
It's
happens.
a lot.
But
So
it's real nicely done. I'm a little upset that
mhm,
it's coming to an end, but hopefully the last couple episodes kind of brings everything together with the big climax, with the big
yeah.
evil coming to New York, and
Yeah. So we're gonna watch this is excuse me, the trailer for season 4. Um we're not gonna show any clips of it because I don't think we're supposed to. So I think you guys should go ahead and watch it. It's good. But here we go.
We're going to be parents.
Fucking
In
Leland.
38 days, a child will be born. They will sing hymns in your honor, the mother of the living Antichrist. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, wide spats and lots of dollars.
Are we really on that level of crazy?
It's biblical, so yes. We've already hunted werewolves and demons. Are we now hunting witches?
Okie dokie.
Hold that thought. What happens if the Antichrist is baptized?
Who's the Antichrist?
Timothy, 3-month-old baby.
Let's just give him an exorcism.
This house needs protection. It's under attack.
Devalidate.
Shit.
Did you ever wonder why the omens get the infancy?
Because that's the real horror.
She just never takes anything serious.
And you don't know where to go to. Why
That
don't
scene
you
right there where she's talking to the guy, to Leland, the guy with the glasses, when the Antichrist is born. And he starts saying, "Oh, he's gonna be the devourer of the world," and this and that. Like, and she just starts laughing, like, "You have no idea what you got yourself into. You're gonna have to deal with a crying child at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, you're talking about, oh, he's gonna be the big demon. Like, bro, you have no idea what you got yourself into with a baby. It just comes off so hilarious. Then just the shit that he goes through is hilarious. But it's
Well,
definitely a
definitely.
good
Like
watch.
Leland is a piece of shit, and that was
Oh,
the guy who was talking to him. And it's just, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I would definitely say watch it because it's a little hard to explain. You have to kind of experience while you watch it. All these characters are funny as shit at one point in time, but also if you're the type of person who hates slow burns or you hate um just asinine things, just be wary. You're not gonna get that with that though. Like I said, there's no slow burns
oh,
besides
there's a
the
couple episodes
teetering.
that are a little slow, but there's more episodes that are actually more involving.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely like you'll get into it. Like if you give it a couple episodes, you'll want to
Hmm.
see what's next.
I guess that makes sense. So I think I don't know. I hope that it ends on a good note. Um,
I
I
mean, if
personally,
they can't end it right, I would just hope that they would leave it somewhat open. So if somebody else wants to pick up the series and continue it, that they can
yeah,
to give it like a proper ending or a TV movie to finish it off
yeah.
or something like that.
Well, I feel like great directors and writers will figure that shit out regardless. Because like I said, I feel like there's so much to go into that show. Mind you, I didn't watch any of the other series. Wait, did I? Or I only just watched the last one? I think I only watched the last
Pretty
one.
much, I think you've watched like this season, the last season, and some of the previous season.
Yeah, so season 2 and season 3 and this season are pretty much the only thing I watched.
Right.
Again, because I'm not into it, but it's very entertaining. We'll watch it.
Yeah,
But
it's a
now
good
we're
like
gonna
if you have
go
nothing
ahead.
else to watch and it's on, just you'll be good.
It's definitely a conversation,
Oh yeah.
especially because it dives into again the religious thing. Is it nature nurture? They talk about different aspects which are really really interesting. And if you're into the religious talk, if you're into supernatural, if you're into all that, do it. The only things I fucking can't stand in that series, like I said, is the two, and I get their reasoning. The woman and what's the scientist name?
Bad.
Ned.
Bad.
Her, was she a psychologist and a scientist? They're always just using logic, which is great. You should be using logic. But again, if you went through 4 seasons of this and now you're seeing Jin and now you're seeing these things that are really fucking up your life where you have visual proof, like you have your own proof. Nobody else made that proof. You got the proof yourself. And you're
Right.
like, nah, there has
Well,
to be
that's
something like maybe a microwave or I'm like, shut the fuck up.
well, that's the thing about it. Like, especially with Ben's character, like, because he really didn't start
Oh, Ben, yeah,
experiencing
yeah.
anything supernatural till he got hit with the when he was in the particle accelerator.
Yeah.
So then he
But
started seeing the gym.
but
So from
even the
his point
same
of
thing
view,
with
it
the
was
girl.
well, her. That's the thing about her character because she was raised Catholic in the Catholic Church, so she's really turned her back on the church. So anything that comes up, oh, it's a demon, it's that, blah, blah, she's like, no, it's not, no, it's not. She's completely against the
Like,
church.
there's no way, even though there's whatever. Watch your
Right.
fucking show and fight us about it. But now I'm gonna put on. I think our next one is gonna be The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes, Mandalorian. If you have not watched,
Go
they're
ahead.
changing the name now. It's the Mandalorian and Grogu. If you don't know who Grogu is, I don't know. You must have been living under a
Baby
rock.
Yoda. Baby Yoda.
Yeah, because he's been everywhere. So now it's the Mandalorian and Grogu. They're bringing in more characters from Star Wars Rebels, the animated show. So if you ever watch Star Wars Rebels, you're going to
Wait.
see a lot of those characters in this show. I'm guessing in this upcoming season, it'll be more crossovers with the Ahsoka series, which is another
Okay.
series
But is it
that
a real series or is it something that is like just in talks? Because I've seen articles about it being a fan series.
what Grogu? What is it was
Mandalorian and
Grogu?
Grogu.
No, it was announced at San Diego Con, the D23. It is Mandalorian and Grogu. It was officially announced.
Okay.
So, but Ahsoka is gonna the some of the characters from Ahsoka are gonna be in the Mandalorian and Grogu. It should be vice versa too, because from what I've been catching on now that if you haven't seen the Ahsoka series, Thrawn, uh, Grand Admiral Thrawn is back. So now they're trying to do a pretty much between the Ahsoka series and the Mandalorian. They're trying to set up the next big Star Wars movie where it's going to be a conflict between Grand Admiral Thrawn trying to rebuild the Empire, his version of the Empire, and since the New Republic really doesn't have an army, from what I've been seeing, is they're going to try to use the Mandalorians as their army to try to fight Admiral Thrawn. So
Okay.
it's all going to be like a big build up to the movie where everything's going to come to a head. Which, if you haven't, honestly, right now, the Mandalorian and now Mandalorian and Grogu are pretty much keeping Star Wars alive. Because
Okay.
I want to do Ahsoka. I'll go into more when I do it. Like I want to do a whole Star Wars episode.
Okay.
I like the way it was done. The fact that if you haven't seen it, it's a spoiler, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it because it was everywhere. That they brought back Christian Hayden as Vader, as Anakin to help
How about
Ahsoka in the
thank you?
situation. Beautifully done
Which is
episode.
beautiful.
There's also the Kenobi series, which is only 6 or 8 episodes. Beautifully done. Really want a season 2, but I don't see where they could go with a season 2 that will really push and help the franchise. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like Kenobi. Kenobi is a must watch. If you're a Star Wars kind of fan, Kenobi is a must watch. Ahsoka is a must watch. I do not want to talk about the Acolyte. It's the
Why don't
last.
you like the Acolyte?
Uh, that pretty much says it all.
Well, that's it. I get it.
Like
So
the big,
I'm so
the
sorry to
big.
interrupt. So I just looked it up. So The Mandalorian and Grogu is a movie. It's a movie coming up. And that
Well, if it is a
was
movie, then they'll probably branch it off into the series. 'Cause
yeah.
there's still so much they can do with the Mandalorians and Grogu, especially the way season two, season
Yeah.
three, season three
Season 3.
ended. There's still so much because they pretty much at the end of season three, if you haven't seen it, they basically took back Mandalore.
Mhm.
They united the Mandalorians who were born on Mandalore
Mhm.
and the religious sect that call
Mhm.
themselves Mandalorians. So there's actually two ways to be a Mandalorian. Either you were born on Mandalore and was raised there, or you joined the religion like the original Mandalorians and
Mhm.
you're considered a Mandalorian. But
Sounds
even with
about right.
that, even with another spinoff from the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, that was intertwined with the Mandalorian season three. That's a good
Mhm.
season of series as well. That has been greenlit for season two. Supposedly, the big spoiler on that one is that Mace Windu is coming back, Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Mhm.
So definitely that interaction between Mace and Boba Fett. Because if you watch Attack of the Clones, Mace is the one who killed Jango Fett, which was Boba Fett's father, even though
Mhm.
Boba Fett's actually a clone of Jango. But it's definitely something to watch. It was the Book of Boba Fett was nicely done. It tied in real well into the franchise. But back to the Acolyte. The Acolyte pretty much is set in the old Republic.
Mhm.
Uh, it's basically, and even the showrunner and the director basically said outright they wanted people who knew nothing about Star Wars to like
Mhm.
write the episodes and carry the story along, which is why so many things in the Acolyte pretty much go against the canon of Star Wars. And,
Okay.
and my two big issues with it. One
Mhm.
is the witches, how they reproduce. Apparently, they use the Force to impregnate themselves. Me personally, it basically shits on the whole Virgins of the Force with Anakin and how he came about. Like, because it's not something that somebody's supposed to be able to do. Anakin was supposed to be a special being brought forth by the Force, not the way they're doing. Like, if you're gonna be witches, you're gonna be witches. What was that? Second thing was the big hype up about uh, Darth Plagueis the Wise. Darth Plagueis, of course, if you watch Revenge of the Sith, episode 3, where the Emperor explains to Anakin about Plagueis, who was able to keep people alive using a bit of chlorines, the whole
Mhm.
nine. Uh, and he's such a top tier Sith Lord to tease him in that way, and then
Okay.
just to like have a glancing shot at him
Okay.
is, in my me personally, just a big fu to the fans. If you're gonna bring up such a powerful, Sith Lord into your show, you're just gonna have him on screen for less than a second.
Okay.
So like, the acolyte is just, it's not, uh, it should not even be
So you wouldn't
considered canon.
recommend, like, you don't feel like it has a strong stance in that you rather see them put more energy into like shows like The Mandalorian.
Into like, yeah, the Mandalorian or Ahsoka, stuff
Okay.
that's established
So it was
lore.
good.
Because basically, the acolyte goes against the established lore of what Star Wars is.
Well, to be fair, like, couldn't they also argue like maybe the lore or the understanding that we have at the moment was probably altered to benefit whoever? And maybe because to my understanding, I think the acolyte is supposed to be pre anybody. So it can pretty much be whatever the fuck it wants, and then people's interpretation later on. Couldn't they insert it that way?
It could, but then again, that's the whole thing. Like, okay, you're bringing up, you're going
Hmm.
against the lore. Like, the whole
Okay.
convergence of the Force with Anakin's conception, that should never have been touched. Like, they should have brought,
Okay.
okay, the witches of whatever. All
Okay.
right, y'all could go have kids the normal way, and you keep the girls, and you get rid of the boys or whatever. Kind of like
Very
what
Game of
the
Thrones.
Spartans, the Spartans did in 300. Like, you
Or
were,
Game of Thrones.
like, there's so much ways they could have went on that route that they could have done, but to
Yeah.
sit there and to just throw in, okay, yeah, no, we reproduce by using the Force. That's just a
Okay.
slap in the face. Honestly, it's cheap writing to try to connect with the franchise, and then to have such a big, Sith Lord, and then you're not
Hmm.
going to use him. Like, you could have made, they could have made the acolyte literally just. You could have had Dark Plagueis and his apprentice going against the Old Republic,
Okay.
and that would have been a much better show. You could have
Hey.
done one of the freaking Star Wars games. You could have just did those as uh, a live action version of them, and it would have been better. Because a lot of the Star Wars games are part of the lore. They're true to the
All
lore.
right. All
Like, to
right.
bring it
So, well, I think it's very interesting. The concept and everything. I know we're almost done for your episode. We can go a little longer if you want, but we can definitely do let's talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
right. All right. So this teenage TMNT. Yeah, see, I'm rocking the shirt. Big
Yeah.
fan. Not a fan of the Michael Bays. I do not consider them canon. They suck ass. I'm talking about the
Hater
original 1990 TMNT. Even
comics.
part three, the whole time travel, back in time, Goofy. I would rather watch that one than watch any of the Michael Bay Jones.
That's
The
blasphemous.
TMNT anime, the cartoon one that came out
Yeah.
was actually really well done. Uh, I have no problems with that one. Even the new one, I have no problem with the Mayhem and Mayhem and something in New York or something.
Hmm.
It's a different version of the play, but it was nicely done.
Okay. So
Uh,
what is this new series or show, and what is it
the
about?
series, the one I want to talk about right now is basically TMNT, The Last Ronin. Now, if you've seen the comic, there's a comic series that's on the screen. It's
Hmm.
also had apparently a game on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Uh, Basically, not to give anything away, because I have not read the comic myself. I've seen bits
I
of it.
have. It's good.
The concept of it, I'm very intrigued by it, and it goes back to where, if you're a fan of TMNT, the Turtles were originally very dark. It wasn't
Yep.
supposed to be a cookie cutter comedy, anything like that. Because even in the first original movie, it had a very serious tone to it. It was very dark. The original comic series was very dark. Then
Hmm.
they see it's a big franchise. Okay, we can, make it a little lighter, make it a little funnier, and it worked as a cartoon series.
Hmm.
But they went back to the original dark version of it. From my understanding, I'm not going to say which turtle it is. Read the comic. I'm going to start reading the comic myself. Basically, Splinter and three of the turtles got killed by the Foot and Shredder. So there's one
Hmm.
turtle left, and it's him against, the Foot, trying to survive after he loses his brothers and his father.
Hmm.
So it's very dark. To me, it looks like it's very heartfelt, very emotional. So I do kind of
Hmm.
like that. route they're going. I do want to mention that they kind of set it up uh, in the original movie, and
Mm,
when they had to flee the city and they were out in
yeah.
the country farm, where you
Hmm.
see one of the turtles, I believe it was Mikey, hitting the bag and then screaming on top of the house. Like
Okay.
that's a pivotal scene that kind of works its way into like the Last Roman.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you haven't had the comic, read the comic. I'm gonna read the comics. Can't wait for the movie to come out. Hopefully,
Well, the
it
game. The game looks good. I would definitely want to play it. We just got to get a PS5.
right. And I just hope that they are true to the comic when they do the movie. Because if the comic is as good as from what I've seen,
Hmm.
it will make a very interesting movie.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's my
Well, yeah.
personal pick. That's my hot one for the day. There was another one. I don't know if we could jump into it real quick because there's not really a
What?
lot on it.
It would have to be the last thing because we are at an hour.
Okay, well, last thing, real quick, because I'm a big fan of it. Constantine came out many, many years ago with Keanu Reeves.
Hmm.
Constantine 2 is in development. There's no
Hmm.
trailer, there's no nothing. There are some trailers on YouTube. Those are fan
But
made.
yeah, they're all like fan made,
Yeah, but so
unfortunately.
far they have a basically an idea of where they want to go,
Hmm.
and it should be from what I read. If they're going that route, it's very interesting, and I would really love to see how that plays out. But it
Well,
is
what
in
would you think how
development.
it would go?
Was that?
What would you think what happened in this year
Well,
in
from
this
what I've read,
second? Hmm.
basically, one of the top seven, the seven angels that fell when Lucifer fell, one of them has found a way to get back into heaven.
Okay.
So basically, it's going to be Constantine coming out of retirement to try and find a way to stop him from leading his army into heaven and destroying heaven. So
Okay.
it's a very interesting concept. So it definitely, especially if they go that route, it'll be more magic, which that was the only thing that for me was lacking in the original. They had
Yeah.
some magic, but not a lot. So to them
This
to
is
do that,
American magic,
yeah. So
just
it'll
guns.
pretty much it was guns and holy water. If you haven't seen Constantine, I don't. You need Jesus. It's a
You
great
need
movie.
Constantine.
It's a great movie, but hoping if that's the route they take, they'll do more magic scene. I did read that Justice League Dark and
Okay.
Justice League Apocalypse War,
Okay.
where Constantine actually plays a big role in those two movies,
Okay.
which is actually why DC is finally considering making a Constantine 2 because
Okay.
those two animes were really big. Those two movies were really big.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get it within the next year or two. And really,
Possibly. I would be very intrigued to see
and there's
another Constantine movie.
one character that Keanu Reeves has said over and over that he really wishes he would have got a second movie on. He's been rallying for
Mhm.
it since the original came out.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get it.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. So
This was a good talk. Did you want to talk about anything else before we leave?
um, like I mentioned earlier, I want to do. I don't know if it'll be next week, but I do want to do a Star Wars uh, episode. Try to put together the timeline. Just go in depth with all the shows
Yeah, that's
and
gonna be a long
cartoons.
episode.
So it'll definitely be very. Well, I think I can squeeze it in under an hour.
Nah. Jose, we
Maybe,
talk too much. Also, we talk too much.
maybe we'll see. I might, paraphrase a lot of stuff, but definitely do want to do that. Do want to do uh,
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek episode. Anybody knows me, I'm a Trekkie,
Turkey for
so
life.
definitely want to do on that. If any of you guys have any ideas, anything you want
Mhm.
to bring up, uh,
Yeah.
let me
Put it in the
know.
comments and let us know.
Comments, DM me. We have a Facebook page. We have an IG page. We have Twitch. If you have on my personal ones, you can message me there.
Mhm.
Anything, any shows coming up or any genres you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to. Uh, and that's about it. So just want to thank you guys for hanging out and
Mhm.
participating, and hopefully this will be another stepping stone into future episodes. And
Gang, gang.
and yeah. Jazz, if you want to put your stuff up,
Yeah, I'm about to do that. Give me 1 second.
because if you don't know
Yeah.
by now, Jazz is pretty much everywhere
I
besides
am
my show. She's
fucking.
on several other shows. So
I'm famous. Not really, actually at all.
a
Um,
lot of her stuff is spicy, as they like to
yeah.
say.
Please understand my stuff is spicy.
18 and
Um,
up, please.
yeah. I don't need no kids on my stuff, please and thank you. But anywho, I'm gonna put my picture up because you guys can't see me today. But this is me. This is Jazz. You can find me on all social media as Ms. Giselle, MZJAZELLE. On all social medias. For anything spicy, it's gonna be Babe Miss J. Or just add me on Giselle Allure on Facebook, and then I'll just direct you to the right location. I am connected with Lore, or excuse me, Nymphs of Lore, which is a book podcast that airs every Friday at 8. No, excuse me, I'm so sorry. 7:30 p.m. every Friday. I'm also part of the fancy oh my gosh, I forgot. Sexually Speaking is my other show I'm a part of. This is, let me see if I can find my fancy
Very
co-host
spicy.
right here. Oh yeah, that's spicy.
That's very spicy.
Yes, it's very spicy. We talk about BDSM, fetish, and all those sexy things that people want to talk about or have questions, but we're kind of shy to talk about. We actually help out with that. This
Right,
is us. You can find us.
It's
This is
very
everything spicy.
informational.
Very, yes, we're educational. You're gonna see us on every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. for as long as we want because we grown. And of course, and you'll see me every Monday, or at least hear my voice with Oso every Monday at 8 o'clock. We try to be on time. Jazz is a little late sometimes, but
And my friends over at the Remix Show with DJ Eric C and Siempre Amor. Like,
yeah,
we be about the 8-ish. Stress all the ish.
on the ish. I do like that. I like when they say that. It's a really good one. Anyway, yeah, you can find also Talks Pod on Instagram. But you could also, of course, go to his Twitch, which is going to be JG Cologne 83. That's where his show is at right now. We're going to probably update that. Like, follow, subscribe. Tell your friends about us. If you don't like our show and you're just like, I don't like how they talk. I hate that they like gay vampires and they like demon shows. Yell at us, but it's tell your friends, tell everybody.
Yeah, share. Like, if you
Yeah,
don't
like and
like,
subscribe.
I will sit here and debate with anybody that wants to come.
Respectfully.
These are shows that I like, that entertain me.
You don't gotta fucking like it.
So I'm open to watch
That's right.
anything. So if you guys have any suggestions on shows, series, movies, animes, I watch anything.
Yeah,
I'll give you my honest opinion of it.
Yeah, I think we have to have an anime episode where we just talk about animes, but
Yes,
we'll definitely talk. We'll definitely see you guys next time. And if you have any questions or concerns, add us, add the podcast, and we can answer any questions. And you guys have a good night, okay?
Alright, good night, y'all.
Gosta de fazer orgia, essa novinha que tá na volanda. Gosta de fazer orgia, você tá em cima da piroca, 24 horas por dia. Você negada por cima da Essa novinha que tá na volanda, gosta de fazer orgia, fica sentando em cima da piroca.